Well, it's on. It's time for the news review. We dig into the most salient stories and break them down for you. And I do this always with the colorful.
Hello.
But you know, this beats my imagination. How sometimes we can combine even without.
Are we combining something here?
Look at your Kente-like colors versus mine, and then the black versus the. I'll find it somewhere.
Okay.
I must find it.
Like I said yesterday.
Is this also Auntie B's collection?
Yeah, this is actually.
You know what? After the show today, let's go and see. Does she do unisex stuff?
Okay, so let me introduce you to Smart Clothing. Okay, that's their name is actually Smart Tailoring.
Okay,
and they're located inside West Legon, on the just before you get to Hard Show, on the main West Legon Road. And Auntie B is a partner to Pastor King. So Auntie B makes the women's clothing, and Pastor King
he takes
will take care of you.
Men.
You get what I mean?
So you'll hook me up, right?
I will. Oh,
my mom is good offer.
Oh, you will be amazed. The thing about Pastor King is he's incredible. His finishing is fantastic, but he's an absolute gentleman. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Auntie B has done, like, she's sold for me for more than 10 years. So, you know what I'm talking about.
Come to speak of that.
So if you're looking for somebody who is really honest, you're looking for them to sew for you on an occasion that's coming up, or, just ordinary clothing, then look for Smart Tailoring inside West Legon. Or you can hit me up and I will link you. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you of someone who hasn't sewed for me for too long. I have a tailor who sewed for me for like over 15 years.
Okay.
Absolute genius. He's in some corner somewhere. I've told this guy to relocate. He says, no, I like my corner.
Yeah.
But there's a new designer I started wearing, Sewa Bankwa. She's somewhere in Kanda.
Okay.
And she does amazing stuff.
Nice.
Around, I think, Club 100. Amazing stuff. I mean...
They're really
we must sell
people.
What's good.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, along the line, Ajua Yabwa was also sewing for me. So I think I just have amazing people who
because
I'm an amazing person.
Oh yeah, it's May, and we're all amazed.
May hide you. My style is simple. The thing I like about Auntie B, and that's why I tend to wear her often, is because she's come to know me. And so she just makes this combination. I didn't contribute. Everything was her. So me, I just go and I put myself into it and I roll.
Let's get into the papers.
I'm feeling the Friday. Like I'm feeling some vibe be like that.
Have you got a song yet for your mom?
Oh, my mom passed back in 2004.
Oh,
but
my condolences.
But I have a lot of women in my life. And
our mothers are many. They're never just
plenty.
the biological
so,
one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to come up with 3 songs for your mothers.
Oh, there's one.
Not spot on, not here. Maybe for later when DJ
Stone Boy's Epistle of Mama.
Okay.
That whole album. And there's one Mama song on there.
We'll look for it.
Yeah.
We'll look for it.
That's my album. That's my Mother's Day album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Casey and Jojo have a song. Casey and Jojo from way back. I think there's this other one. The lady who sang Jesus Take Carrie Underwood, right? She also has one.
There's a Boyz
and I've been looking for one beef from, I think, Freddie Mayweather or something like that. I'll check it out.
You know I
love you. Da, 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 da. Give me vocal backup.
I
have the Daily Graphic, Republic Press, Daily Statesman, and there's a reason I've stolen the Republic Press. It's a surprise for you, Mama B.
Okay.
The Daily Statesman, the Finder newspaper, the Custodian, and the BNFT. What do you have?
The Ghanaian Times, the Daily Guide, the Daily Dispatch. If there's more time, I'll run through a few others for you. So.
All right. So quickly with the headlines, Daily Graphic, government committed to media freedom. That's according to Information Minister Kojo Oponkroma. President forwards Ajabin's nomination to Parliament.
Kojo? This is Kojo?
Yeah, Kojo.
Hey, I said what?
But his name is Kojo.
Poshoyo. I just wanted to hear how you pronounce it.
Kojo.
Okay.
Kojo. Lands Minister orders unauthorized task forces to stop work. Of course, there's that story about the president forwarding Ajabin's nomination to Parliament. Time to woo diasporan investors. That's according to the founder of Black History Month UK. And he's a global icon, Mr. Achaba Adaisebo, who has urged government to strive to create an enabling environment to attract Ghanaians living abroad and the African diaspora to invest their resources in the country. He also makes mention of difficulties in acquisition and registration of land, clearing of goods at the ports, high taxation on remittances, high cost of borrowing, and corruption as some of the challenges that could drive away investment, for which reason the government must take a serious view of the situation. Of course, all of these extant, but let's not also forget the other side that Ghana has made some strides. I mean, some of the IT bits we've brought on board to facilitate some of these things. Of course, when it comes to registering a business, still a few bottlenecks in there. I think the last time I checked, we were doing pretty well on the African, level compared to other countries, Nigeria and the rest, in terms of the ease of doing business, starting a business. But of course, a lot more that we can do to attract foreign investment and, of course, the money of Ghanaians living abroad. When you go to the international news page on page 5, 29 students freed in Nigeria, Ugandan rebel commander sentenced. I'm talking about Dominic Ongwen, who was recently sentenced to 25 years in jail. He's the first former child soldier to be convicted by the International Criminal Court, and his case has raised debate over whether he should be treated as a victim or perpetrator. I had to highlight this because whether you're talking Rwanda, whether you're talking Sierra Leone, whether you're talking Liberia, whether you're talking wherever you go, there are these incidents sometimes of children getting involved in some of these and how to treat them. Well, this is the first time that the ICC has actually handed down a sentence of this nature. Then there is, on the health page, page 13, AstraZeneca inaugurates nebulization station. And this morning we've been talking about more of those vaccines. Then, the middle spread of the paper, Most Reverend Boafo expresses concern over rising social vices, and I'm talking about the presiding bishop of the Methodist Church of Ghana. And 316 security personnel trained in counter-terrorism. On the back page, Zoom Lion constructs 8-kilometer road through Asakai. Did I get that right?
I don't know.
Okay.
And once it's not in Angloga, I don't know how to. I'm not sure if you get it right.
It's in the Efia Kwesi-Mensem municipality.
Oh, okay. I should know that. How do you pronounce it again?
How would Asakai? Asakai. Okay. Let's leave it at that before I attract undue attention. New COVID-19 treatment center inaugurated in Eastern region. And that's it for the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Let's jump into the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Here's what's on the front page. President accepts nomination of Kisi Ejabing as special prosecutor, requests Parliament to consider nomination. And I guess this is the time where all the issues allegedly related to him can come to bear. And if indeed there is an issue of conflict of interest, mere or whatever, Parliament will have to do a fantastic job, not just to bring the issues up, but they have the power to approve or not. So there's an opportunity here. Also, court restrains planned Fix the Country demo. The Accra High Court has restrained conveners of the Fix the Country protest from embarking on the planned demonstration on Sunday or any other day until the restriction on public gathering is lifted. As one of our conversations here on the show, what is surprising is the fact that they were sitting down with them. They were talking, and then they went behind them, went alone, to convince the court that they had the case. This is one of those things. I was reading Samson's take, which was reposted on this issue, but he was said Dennis Ajay's decision on this ex parte motion, which is where the police alone can wake up and go to court and decide that Ben wants to do something, but we disagree. And so
we think for X reason, so
and he was talking about, especially when it has to do with a case related to the Public Order Act. You know, you hear just one side. I mean, where is the fairness in that? Why won't you listen to the response from the others before you make a decision? Except that was a High Court decision, so we know that a High Court can take another decision. They are not necessarily binding on them, but we thought another High Court. I thought that was a really good point that he made, and he explained it in detail. And in instances like this, the people look up to the court. You know, it's like the final place for all of us. When the executive would take a decision, when the legislature would take a decision, the final place where you go, and whatever
to get clarity as far as the law is concerned is the law court. And
I don't know how a one-sided argument is fair enough for the other party, especially when we also say that the judges live with us, so they know what is going on. And especially when they were all talking, the parties were talking. So how do you go secretly behind and go to court and get an injunction?
So the Madam Justice of the court has arrived at her decision. Of course, it can be challenged, and which is exactly what the team is doing. But I heard Samson speak yesterday as well, and the nature of even this injunction that has been placed, it's so wide, it's practically infinite. You know, which makes it even more problematic, and that was one of
the restriction is lifted.
Until this order or the restrictions are lifted,
we all don't know,
and we don't know when. In other words, constitutionally, of course, that is also by executive instrument, but it means that our constitution says one thing, but again, the same law forbids you're doing the same thing that the constitution guarantees. You know, it's a very tricky situation, and especially like you're saying as well, you would want to listen to different sides, both parties, and in granting such injunctions. I mean, I'm not a justice of the court, so we'll leave that to the High Court judge.
Also,
but
Ben,
it
when we know that we've made several adjustments, we've made adjustment to suit the occasion. Even when we're recording high numbers of COVID-19, I mean, we did a new register. We went through the process. We went through the voting.
We had some level of campaigning.
We had political activities ongoing. So I thought, you know, what could be reasonable in a sense, this is just one part of it, would be you can go ahead and protest, but it should be in a confined area because we can't control the excesses. We really can't tell what other people who may join would do. But by all means, let the people speak. Because if you don't and they keep it in them, it will come back and hit you hard in ways that you would have absolutely no control. I'm highly disappointed that we're restricting...
Disappointed in what and with what?
We're restricting the people so they can't take any action at all. Because I thought that they could agree, you know, so say you meet at the Black Star Square, for instance. You know, gather, let the people gather, do your social distancing, you know, space out and address them, but we can't let you go on a march.
Mama V, you know? I agree with you. I agree with you wholly, because this is a very slippery slope we're going down. But you see, there are precedents to this, and that is why sometimes it becomes problematic for me. Of course, two wrongs don't make a right. There are instances where certain things have been done and we're like, oh, for example, what was happening at a point to the Auditor General, who went back and said, oh, and at Mills, a similar thing happened with this leader here. But in this instance, in the previous regime, we had a situation where the Electoral Commission, you know, people were planning a demonstration, protest, similar bit. The police went out there, got the injunction, similar trend. I am saying that these things must stop. We must be fair, balanced in the situation. Else, do you know what this means? The Ghana Police Service is a part of the executive arm of government. We have a situation where I feel, and I agree with the thinking that the IGP, for example, should not be one of those appointees of a president. I feel we have a president, an executive, I think I should say, that is too powerful, appointing practically everybody. But that's a different argument, because you know, these people were supposed to meet with the IGP and that didn't come off. But I'm merely saying that there are precedents that we have set. They are not necessarily correct. at some point we must say that enough is enough.
We will discuss this in detail right after sport this morning. So quickly to the other headlines, and this is also on the front page of the paper. One person has been shot dead, while 8 others suffered gunshot wounds in a violent conflict over land between 2 Kokoma clans. This happened at a farming community in the Saboba district of the Northern region. Details of that in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. There's also 3 policemen who have been interdicted for allegedly abandoning posts at a checkpoint at Achim Begro in the Eastern region, giving way for armed robbers to rob passengers of a total amount of over 36,000 Ghana cedis and 9 phones. Details of that also here. On the front page, 3 died, 20 injured in gory crash on motorway. This by this time yesterday, it was breaking news. 14 people believed to be national security operatives who were arrested by the Eastern Regional Police Command have been transferred to the police headquarters in Accra for further interrogation. Details of that also there. And then in the center spread, the annual month-long ban on drumming and noise-making in the Accra metropolis ahead of Homowo festivities starts on Monday. According to the Assembly, it has therefore entreated all indigent towns and villages under the jurisdiction of the traditional area to cooperate and comply with the guidelines for the ban during the period. On the back page, Accra Great Olympics will be engaged in a tricky tie against Wafa in their Ghana Premier League Match Day 23 encounter at Sogakope today. So they asked the question, can Oli survive Wafa scare? Agbagloshi E-Waste Center begins purchase of old batteries. That's it for the headlines that I've picked from the Ghanaian Times newspaper.
Okay, your surprise is coming, but let's start with Republic Press.
Is that Kim Faisal?
Central Region, man 37 sentenced to 16 months in prison for impregnating daughter. A lot of these stories popping up. I just saw in one of the papers one in which an imbecile had been impregnated. And by the way, I don't use the word imbecile in the normal sense. The law has an understanding in the legal sense. He's impregnated his own daughter, and that's a grave situation. Woman from Mali gives birth to 9 babies. Akufuado okays Kisiaja someone I saw yesterday. Samia Wuku begs for galamseyers. You'll have to check out the details to find out what exactly they mean. An offense, so 20-year-old man arrested for beheading girl. But the entirety of page 11 of the Republic Press is dedicated to me. You know why? So the other day I was talking about our very own Derek Ekosam, who had an article from My Joy Online in the paper. Well, today it is Benjamin Akakpo, fixing without fixes.
Okay.
Cry the beloved
your
country.
Article.
It's made it to page 11, the entirety of page 11. So clap for me, clap for me, clap for me. Give me my applause.
Yeah, man.
So next time, you must also...
But you're just expressing what is on our hearts, really. So you're speaking for many people.
Yeah. So that's it with Republic Press.
Okay, let's do the Daily Guide newspaper. We're familiar with pretty much all the headlines, but there's one on JB's Gateman recounts murder nights, and that's the former legislator who was killed. And the night security man of the murder, JB Danko Edu, the then member of parliament for Boaka North in the Eastern region, yesterday appeared before an Accra High Court and narrated the manner in which he and some police officers found the lifeless body of the deceased. So his name is Stephen Apreko Mensah. He said he had been working for the late MP for 13 years until the gruesome murder. He told the court that the deceased body was found lying on his back in a pool of blood beside his bed when he and a police officer entered his room. Led in evidence by Sefa Akop, Principal State Attorney, the gateman narrated the events of the nights of February 8, 2006, right up to the time the body of the deceased was discovered. So this issue is continuing. Remember the last time when I gave an update, it was a juror who was appearing before another court who delayed the process, didn't show up, and then the judge had to say that if it happened again, she was going to, dissolve the jury. But thankfully it's picking up. So if you want to hear the accounts of the gatesman as you follow the story closely, you can grab the paper and read details of that. Let's see, there's some entertainment news stories. Okay, don't go on the streets, Mr. Logic to fix the country activists. So this is the center spread of the paper. Some Entertainment-related story. Nobody supporting Buhari government. No, anybody supporting Buhari government deserves hell. That's according to a popular Nigerian singer, Davido. So he's joined many Nigerians in criticizing the president, Muhammadu Buhari-led governments over the rising insecurity issues in the country. And if you've been following matters of Nigeria, you would know that there's been many kidnapping incidents. It's happening almost on a daily basis in Nigeria.
Well, are you done?
Oh, Trey Songz faces battery lawsuit from bartender over 2019 incident. Details of that also here. You are like the love guy, so.
Anyway, speaking of entertainment, I just had to, I briefly missed this in the Republic Press. 6 Ghanaian celebrities who don't support Fix the Country campaign. You know, it's split us along 5 fine lines. There have been over 500,000 tweets, by the way, about Fix the Country. 500,000. But some of them, for various reasons, say they won't join, like Prince David Osei, Ifyashua, Stonebwoy.
Typical of a democracy.
Adam says, for him, he doesn't believe in tweets. Instead, he's advising protesters to use dialogue recommendations and forming pressure groups. That's what he's saying. Stonebwoy says he doesn't want to get involved because of the politicization of everything in the country. So when he gets involved, people will look at it with political lenses. So he will not get involved. That's what he's saying.
If the people who built this country had not gotten involved, we will all not be here.
Are you? And oh, by the way, the articles I mentioned, myjoyonline.com, you can check all of them out there. The Finder, Goyle's 6,000 metric tons bitumen plant worth $35 million is 82% complete. USAID commits $19 million to boost agric finance in Ghana. And road crashes, motorcycles killed 441 out of the 1,034 killed this year. Just had to highlight that. Yesterday we had that bad story. I think the Ghanaian Times captured it, and here we are again.
The Daily Dispatch newspaper front page, position of MPP's national chairman. Can Edward Boateng stop Stephen Ntim's 5th attempt? Big question. So we know that Edward Boateng is contesting for the slots. There's Freddie Blay, who is a current chairman, and then there's Mr. Stephen Ntim, who's contesting for the 5th time. And then Professor Ameyaw Ekomfi also contesting. So, you know, they asked the big question on the front page. Listen, if you've been following these stories, you might want to grab the paper and read. And here's one that's absolutely very touching. Chief Imam to mission schools, treat my grandkids with love, dignity, and empathy.
Okie doke. The final headline I'm going to do actually is a story I'm going to take in about a minute. And Mama, I want to know what you honestly think about this. IMF, and it's the Business and Financial Times, it says IMF backs tax increments to save Africa from debt distress. Now, listen to this. It's the IMF is backing governments to use tax increments as a means of raising more revenue in order to reduce borrowing as they continue to fight the deadly pandemic. This comes on the back of the Regional Economic Outlook report, April 2021, published by the IMF, revealing that 17 countries in the region are either at high risk of debt distress or already in debt situation or debt distress as of the end of 2020, a situation that will be exacerbated with the continuous lingering of the deadly coronavirus pandemic. So to reduce borrowing, tax the people more.
What do I think?
What do you think?
IMF is not a citizen of Ghana. I am, you are. That's my response.
Okay, today I want us to do this. Give me a fist bump.
You didn't feel me, huh?
But sometimes, you know, someone has said that you have problems. And someone from outside is telling you what problems you have and how to solve them. Let me leave it at that. That's how I wrap up with my papers.
Okay, so I guess this is where we have to leave you. We've got plenty of stories on myjoyonline.com. If you haven't read that piece, that article by Benjamin Akakpo is on myjoyonline.com. Just go to the opinions page. What's the title of it again?
Fixing without fixes, cry the beloved country.
Okay. All right. So plenty of stories, and whatever you missed here on our show, you can catch up. When we come back from sports, though, we're talking about Fix the Country, and specifically this injunction that is restricting them from hitting the streets on May 9, Sunday. Muftal Nabila Abdullahi has got plenty of sports. It's a Friday. Hearts of Oak is in action. Oh my God, but it is Kim Faisal. Congratulations to Manchester United, I guess. As I'm like, Charlie, stay with us. We will be back with a lot more.